The woman spoke. "What do you have to say about the balance of the male and the female?" The tender responded. The male-female energetic balance shifted with the world wars. The structure that had existed prior for thousands of years was absolutely blasted by the decimation of generations of the male and their absence from the home both in time of war and as a result of death. The world that developed in the post-war period was more greatly influenced by and designed towards the interests of women than any that ever existed in history. Never before was the objective scale so great. In precisely the time that the female has grown in power, so too has consumption increased in needless products and services. Of course, men have been involved in that growth, but it has been driven by the female desire to satisfy the traits that she evolved to embody, the desire for comfort, ease, adornments, clothing, entertainment, drama to consider, nurturing, sensitivity, expectation. And boys then were raised to be gentle like girls, so that they would not grow to confront the women, so that they would encourage and enable the women, and men were no longer allowed to be men. All the while the consumption increased and the world around was sucked dry. And then, as the costs of this wave show themselves over generations, when childhood has been extended a decade or more into adulthood, when all must be nurturing and comfortable, when women lose all respect for the men they themselves have trained, then the honest viewer must look back to consider, where did that particular evolution go wrong? Why is it that every traditional society to speak of maintained their strict gender roles? And the answer is because that is how they survived. They maintained what was elsewhere lost. And from our indulgent castle, we look out and call them old-fashioned, backwards, or worse. And meanwhile they look in from outside and see a society steeped in perversion of interest, that has lost its moorings, that feeds on itself in layer upon layer of naive hypocrisy.